body on the shot. Go, Georgia Southern!
Humber kill once again.
And the Savannian has a touchdown. Eagles take the lead.
Long shot and blocked by Karen Shack.
Here Georgia Southern with a strike from the outside corner. And it's in! Eagle Nation, welcome back to another year of Blue White Weekly, your weekly look inside Georgia Southern athletics. Alongside Colin Lacey, I'm Danny Reed. Now, we've got so much to cover in this, our first edition, but in the opening segment of Blue White Weekly, brought to you by Optum Healthcare, we're going to try to make some sense of what has happened the last 6 months, and it has been a long, strange trip as we try to deal with the COVID-19 pandemic, wearing masks, social distancing, and all that jazz. And for our purposes, we didn't know if the fall would bring back college sports. But the good thing is, Colin, right here at Paulson Stadium in just a little bit, Eagle football begins the season and the athletic calendar against Campbell.
Yeah, it's a 3:30 kick for Georgia Southern against Campbell, and you're going to see some differences in the stands in the stadium at Allen E. Paulson. Everybody required to wear masks. You're going to be seeing it at 25% capacity of what Allen E. Paulson Stadium holds. So right around 6,200 is kind of the target number that would be, quote-unquote, a sellout for this season as far as what's allowed. And so it's going to be a little bit different, but at least you have football here in Statesboro.
The shutdown happened on March 12th. At that point, Eagle football had 6 spring practices out of the 15 you get. I know that doesn't sound like a whole lot, but considering that Georgia Southern was one of only 28 teams in the entire FBS that made it to 6 spring practices, that was an achievement. And then starting on June 1st, the players were gradually filtered back to campus, but it wasn't as if they got going right away because of protocols and because of guidelines set by the NCAA. Colin, they didn't get a chance to start working out until June 15th.
And you've heard it pretty much through the entirety of preseason camp this year that Georgia Southern, along with everybody else in the country, is behind of where they want to be. The good thing is, everybody is behind. You talked about Georgia Southern getting 6 spring practices where a lot of teams in the country didn't get any, if any at all. And so when you see what Georgia Southern is it behind where head coach Chad Lunsford and the rest of the staff would like to be? Absolutely. But at the end of the day, you're on a level playing field.
Fast forward to the end of July, organized team activities began. Fall camp started August the 7th, about a week later than it usually does. But the good thing is we had a fall camp. We talked with Shy Words. We talked with Rashad Bird. It's always nice hearing from Coach Lunsford. And it just felt like things were at least close to where they should be.
Yeah, like we talked about earlier, there are going to be differences. It's going to be a seemingly odd year for Georgia Southern football. But at the end of the day, I think this is about as good as you could have hoped for a couple of months ago. Like we talked about earlier, you didn't know if you were going to have college sports at all. Knowing that you have Georgia Southern football, at least for now, that's a good thing in our eyes.
We come back from this timeout. We will sit down with new Director of Athletics at Georgia Southern, Jared Benko, as Blue White Weekly continues.
It's back. The return of the prestigious Learfield IMG College Directors Cup, honoring college sports excellence across all competitive divisions, both men's and women's sports. Follow along with L Directors Cup on Twitter or online to see which schools will be taking home a first-place trophy in June for their season-long success. Learfield IMG College Directors Cup, a premier institutional award jointly launched in 1993 by USA Today and NACDA.
You never know what's around the corner. That's why Ford is built for what's next. Rough terrain, we can help tackle it. A lot going on around you, we can help you focus. Driver in your blind spot, we can help you spot them. And to help you prepare for what's next, your local Ford dealers are offering great deals on America's best-selling brand. Now, get 0% financing for 60 months, plus $1,000 trade assist cash on a 2020 Escape, Edge, or Explorer.
At Georgia Power, our customers are at the center of everything we do. We're investing in technology to increase the resiliency of our power grid, expanding our infrastructure to shorten outage and repair time, and providing a cleaner, more diverse fuel mix with solar and nuclear energy. We're working hard to keep energy at a cost 15% below the national average, while maintaining the highest levels of customer service and satisfaction. With reliable energy, the future is in your hands.
Hi, I'm Paul Newman with Statesboro Real Estate, the broker and owner, also co-owner of PMG Rentals, which is a property management company. As a Georgia Southern graduate in 2005, I got into real estate fresh out of school and was excited to have the opportunity to be the official real estate agent of Georgia Southern Athletics. I would say what sets me apart is the drone and online marketing presence that Statesboro Real Estate has to offer. Statesboro is such a small town and just has a really cool feel to it, and it's neat to see somebody at the grocery store or at the ball fields and know that you've helped them in the past and have the opportunity to continue to help them pursue their dream home. PMG Rentals is a great value adder to Statesboro Real Estate for the fact that if you're a renter, we can show you houses to buy in the future, and also if you're an investor, you can purchase with us and then lean to PMG as your property management for the future. Whether you're looking to buy an investment property, have it professionally managed with PMG Rentals, buying your first home, or buying your dream home, make sure you call Paul.
Welcome back to Blue White Weekly, your weekly look into Georgia Southern athletics. Presented by Ford, go further. Georgia Power, a Southern company.
Welcome back to Blue White Weekly, your weekly look inside Georgia Southern athletics. It's one thing to start a new job. It's a whole nother thing to start a new job as a Division I FBS athletic director in the middle of a worldwide pandemic. But in this week's edition of A Georgia Southern Story, Art Berger sits down with new Director of Athletics Jared Benko to not only see how he has acclimated himself to Eagle Nation, but what it has been like to take control of a thriving athletic department.
Jared, talk about when you grew up here in Georgia.
Yeah.
And what led you to attending the University of Georgia?
I used to write handwritten letters, all the time, and I'd write them to like professional baseball players and other people for autographs. And the other letters I would write would be, to GMs and ADs about how to get in the profession. And so early on, in fact, I would say probably when I was a junior in high school, I think it's when I had my first interview trying to work for Claude Felton at Georgia in the sports communications office. When you added about convenience, opportunity to work in athletics already, and they had a degree program that I was interested in, it was an easy sell. And so I wanted to do statistics. Like I love math. I was interested in like the Moneyball before it was cool, right? And so I went in to do statistics thinking I was going to do like run the stat books and stuff with teams and look at numbers and stuff. The way I've always looked at it is I have a strong faith. I always feel like God's going to position me where He needs me to be to glorify Him. And so I knew college athletics I feel like was a calling. I didn't really know, yes, I wanted to be an AD. I had no clue how to get there. I think that first job at Georgia probably helped me start putting the puzzle pieces together of a potential path. And so to me, I felt like it was a tremendous training ground to prepare me for a future in athletics. But I would share with you what prepared me for this role at Georgia Southern was just best practices, because in my opinion, the SEC is a preeminent conference in the country. And when you have a preeminent conference in the country, you're also working with some of the best people in the country. Each place I went to, I had progressive responsibility, both while I was there, but also when I left those jobs and went to other ones. So to me, I felt like, hey, if I have to have 25 tools in the tool belt, roughly speaking as an analogy, to be an AD, by the time I left Mississippi State, or I should say at least interviewed for this job at Georgia Southern, I had all the 25 tools.
Talk about your plans and goals for Georgia Southern. What do you hope to see from the athletic department, from the university and yourself?
So three things I talk about all the time: academic, athletic, and inclusive excellence. Three things right out of the gate. So I would share with you, going back to the press conference, we talked about embracing history. And I would argue in the last 40 years, Georgia Southern has more history than anybody else in the country from an athletic standpoint. And the second thing was innovation. Everything we do is going to be innovative. I want our leaders on our staff to be constantly thinking about, what did we miss? What can we do better? And so to me, when you think about 17 sports, we want to be good in everything. And when I say be good, it's not good, I'm talking about being excellent. And the last piece too, we've already touched on it a little bit just with our staff earlier today, but a diversity inclusion is really important to us. And so if you think about, well, what does that mean? Ultimately, I want to provide a place and help foster a place where our student athletes feel inclusive and they feel comfortable and that their differences are embraced here.
Optum Health System's commitment to you has not changed. Unmatched safety and compassionate care. Others may talk about the new normal, but at Optum Health System, we've always provided high-quality, personalized care safely. If you have recently delayed your care, we want to reassure you we are prepared to care for you. Our absolute commitment to safe, high-quality, personalized care is stronger than ever. We welcome you back to Optum Health System.
The great thing about joining the Sun Belt for Georgia Southern was, that opportunity for our guys to go experience bowl games. They're able to fight for a conference championship each and every year, and then have the opportunity to go finish the season off with a bowl victory.
Our team recreated each moment in a way that honors the story and retells the story for many generations to come. From the beginning, we've always just wanted to build something that honored Georgia Southern, and they'll stand the test of time.
You never know what's around the corner. That's why Ford is built for what's next. Rough terrain, we can help tackle it. A lot going on around you, we can help you focus. Driver in your blind spot, we can help you spot them. And to help you prepare for what's next, your local Ford dealers are offering great deals on America's best-selling brand. Now, get 0% financing for 60 months, plus $1,000 trade assist cash on a 2020 Escape, Edge, or Explorer.
At Georgia Power, our customers are at the center of everything we do. We're investing in technology to increase the resiliency of our power grid, expanding our infrastructure to shorten outage and repair time, and providing a cleaner, more diverse fuel mix with solar and nuclear energy. We're working hard to keep energy at a cost 15% below the national average, while maintaining the highest levels of customer service and satisfaction. With reliable energy, the future is in your hands.
Renaissance Bank, understanding you. Welcome back to Blue White Weekly, your weekly look into Georgia Southern athletics. Presented by Ford, go further. Georgia Power, a Southern company.
Welcome back to Blue White Weekly, your weekly look inside Georgia Southern athletics. You can see we're at Downey Paulson Stadium about to preview the home opener against the Campbell Fighting Camels. We'll do that momentarily, but this segment is talking about Georgia Southern's Olympic sports, and we begin with Georgia Southern Volleyball off a 7-20 season in 2019. Chad Willis now in his second year as head coach. Colin, usually you have to talk about what volleyball has lost. I think about a couple of years ago how they had to rebound because of the loss of Lauren Riekert, but this year only one starter gone, 12 letter winners return.
Yeah, you do lose your top attacker in Carly Turner, but you return 4 of the top 5 attackers for head coach Chad Willis and Georgia Southern Volleyball. And you look at players like Maddie Bryant, Maya Wilson, Baylor Bumford, and Skylar Ball, who's now a senior. Talking with head coach Chad Willis, he talks a lot about how last season there was a big emphasis on playing a lot of the younger players in this program for Georgia Southern Volleyball, and now seeing that pay dividends in 2020.
Eagle Nation, you might remember that Baylor Bumford set the school record with 15 blocks last year in that upset victory at Hanner Fieldhouse against Troy. Moving on to men's soccer, they just had their schedule finalized not too long ago. Head coach John Murphy, not only one of the best coaches in the Sun Belt, but one of the most colorful characters in the Sun Belt Conference. And Colin, he's got 3 outstanding performers to lead this team.
Yeah, they open up the season next Saturday, the 19th, on the road against South Carolina up in Columbia to return home for the home opener on September 26th against UAB. A very difficult offseason for Georgia Southern men's soccer as far as scheduling is concerned. When you look at just the Sun Belt Conference, you had Appalachian State dropping the program in the offseason due to COVID-19 restrictions and concerns. When you look at other things that happened around the Sun Belt Conference, Howard is no longer playing fall sports. They have postponed those until the spring. And so Georgia Southern, just one of 4 teams in the Sun Belt Conference men's soccer side that is still playing in the fall of 2020. And so a big concern for Georgia Southern soccer. They did get their schedule finalized, like you mentioned, just a couple of days ago. But as far as personnel is concerned, Georgia Southern men's soccer returns their top 3 scorers on the team. Adam Davey missed 4 games last season towards the end of the season. He is back after scoring 7 goals for Georgia Southern, along with Alder Cortez and Alhaji Tambadu make up the top 3 scorers that are back for 2020.
And for Georgia Southern women's soccer, it's head coach Josh Moffitt's show officially. He took over as the full-time head coach about midway through last season after being named the interim just days before the opener. But this year, this 2020 season, they're going to get home and homes with each of their 5 Sunbelt foes. Also a home and home against the Citadel. That's actually the home opener over at Eagle Field coming up on Monday. And also a non-conference matchup against Mercer.
When you look at what head coach Josh Moffitt and the team return, there's not a whole lot, like you mentioned, returning. You've got 13 newcomers for Georgia Southern women's soccer, 11 of those being freshmen. You do have senior leadership with Maddie Clintworth and Brogan Boudreau, who have been mainstays here in Georgia Southern for the last couple of years for Georgia Southern women's soccer, but a lot of new faces that you'll get to know here in 2020.
And one thing they'll have to replace, those 8 goals that Frida Bradham scored last year. Nora Fallness does return, and you remember seeing that fine goal she had against Georgia State a year ago. That was one of the top plays all across Georgia Southern athletics in 2019. We return from this timeout. We sit down with Georgia Southern football coach Chad Lunsford as Blue White Weekly continues.
Are you suffering from hip or knee pain? Don't let the pain hold you back. The region's most experienced robotic joint replacement team at Optum Health System offers an individually tailored approach that is more precise and creates smaller incisions. For you, that can mean a faster recovery with less pain. Your comeback starts here. Call today to find out if robotic-assisted joint replacement is right for you.
The great thing about joining the Sun Belt for Georgia Southern was, that opportunity for our guys to go experience bowl games. They're able to fight for a conference championship each and every year, and then have the opportunity to go finish the season off with a bowl victory.
Our team recreated each moment in a way that honors the story and retells the story for many generations to come. From the beginning, we've always just wanted to build something that honored Georgia Southern, and they'll stand the test of time.
You never know what's around the corner. That's why Ford is built for what's next. Rough terrain, we can help tackle it. A lot going on around you, we can help you focus. Driver in your blind spot, we can help you spot them. And to help you prepare for what's next, your local Ford dealers are offering great deals on America's best-selling brand. Now, get 0% financing for 60 months, plus $1,000 trade assist cash on a 2020 Escape, Edge, or Explorer.
At Georgia Power, our customers are at the center of everything we do. We're investing in technology to increase the resiliency of our power grid, expanding our infrastructure to shorten outage and repair time, and providing a cleaner, more diverse fuel mix with solar and nuclear energy. We're working hard to keep energy at a cost 15% below the national average, while maintaining the highest levels of customer service and satisfaction. With reliable energy, the future is in your hands.
Welcome back to Blue White Weekly, your weekly look into Georgia Southern athletics. Presented by Ford, go further. Georgia Power, a Southern company.
Welcome back into this week's edition of Blue White Weekly, your weekly look at Georgia Southern athletics. As we step into Coach's Corner here at Allen E. Paulson Stadium, we sit down with head coach Chad Lunsford for Georgia Southern football. And Coach, when you look at spring practice for you guys, you get 6 spring practices in. A lot of teams in the country didn't get any. How beneficial is it to have those 6 spring practices under your belt?
Oh, I would say it was very invaluable for us to be able to get those 6 practices. We were able to work a lot of fundamentals, a lot of technique, and then get into our offense and defensive schemes. We were able to grow a little bit more for maybe some of our mid-year guys that came in. But unfortunately, with it getting cut short, you didn't have as much growth at the positions that you would want. But obviously, us getting 6 and maybe other schools not getting those would definitely be an advantage for us.
You've also put a big emphasis on being a player-led team. You announced your captains of Shy Words, Raymond Johnson, J.D. King, Rashad Bird, and Ryan Langan. With those 5, what makes them a captain title, and what's the process that you guys go through to get that?
So what we do is we make this team generated. We have our whole team vote, and we ask them to vote for one offensive guy, one defensive guy, one special teams guy, specialist. And then we tally up the votes. And, so it was really one of those deals where, in years past, you maybe had 3 captains or you had 4 captains. This year we ended up going 5 just because of how the count fell. But again, when you talk player-led, 2020, this year is going to be probably our best player-led football team we've had since we've been here.
This year in 2020, Georgia Southern is going to be one of the most experienced teams in the country. Phil Steele has them at the 17th most experience in the FBS. What's the impact that you see this has for this Georgia Southern football team?
I think the experience is a big key here. You know, when you're dealing with a pandemic and there's a possibility that you could lose a player for a certain amount of time and you could lose other players that maybe were a contact with that person, I think the experience is really going to play a big part of this. And so excited about this team and excited about that part of it, you know, because even if we do have to play some younger guys because of the pandemic, we're going to have older guys that can really bring them along.
What excites you most about the 2020 season for Georgia Southern?
You know, I think it's just that opportunity. We've, you know, the last 2 years, we've knocked on the door of the Sun Belt Championship, and we just couldn't quite get that door open. And, you know, so I'm excited this year to see if this team has what it takes to go knock that door down. And you know, I feel strongly that we do have those pieces together. We're going to be battling a lot more than we normally would. You know, not just the normal injuries that you get in football, but you're going to be battling a pandemic too. And so we got to be mindful of that. But I do think these guys are ready to take on this challenge. They've been working very, very hard. They've been dealing with a lot of things off the field too that we've got to pay attention to, and we got to make sure we're supporting them on. But when it comes to football, their mindset of what they want to accomplish.
Coach, appreciate the time. Looking forward to 2020 Georgia Southern football. That'll wrap up another edition of Coach's Corner here on Blue White Weekly. We'll continue with more after this.
Hi, I'm Paul Newman with Statesboro Real Estate, the broker and owner, also co-owner of PMG Rentals, which is a property management company. As a Georgia Southern graduate in 2005, I got into real estate fresh out of school and was excited to have the opportunity to be the official real estate agent of Georgia Southern Athletics. I would say what sets me apart is the drone and online marketing presence that Statesboro Real Estate has to offer. Statesboro is such a small town and just has a really cool feel to it, and it's neat to see somebody at the grocery store or at the ball fields and know that you've helped them in the past and have the opportunity to continue to help them pursue their dream home. PMG Rentals is a great value adder to Statesboro Real Estate for the fact that if you're a renter, we can show you houses to buy in the future, and also if you're an investor, you can purchase with us and then lean to PMG as your property management for the future. Whether you're looking to buy an investment property, have it professionally managed with PMG Rentals, buying your first home, or buying your dream home, make sure you call Paul.
Are you suffering from hip or knee pain? Don't let the pain hold you back. The region's most experienced robotic joint replacement team at Optum Health System offers an individually tailored approach that is more precise and creates smaller incisions. For you, that can mean a faster recovery with less pain. Your comeback starts here. Call today to find out if robotic-assisted joint replacement is right for you.
Renaissance Bank, understanding you.
The great thing about joining the Sun Belt for Georgia Southern was, you know, that opportunity for our guys to go experience bowl games. They're able to fight for a conference championship each and every year, and then have the opportunity to go finish the season off with a bowl victory.
Our team recreated each moment in a way that honors the story and retells the story for many generations to come. From the beginning, we've always just wanted to build something that honored Georgia Southern, and they'll stand the test of time.
Welcome back to Blue White Weekly, your weekly look into Georgia Southern athletics. Presented by Ford, go further. Georgia Power, a Southern company.
Welcome back to this week's edition of Blue White Weekly, your weekly look inside Georgia Southern athletics. Eagle Nation, it is time. Allen Paulson Stadium is the site. First ever matchup for Georgia Southern against Campbell. It's a 3:30 kick, which you can watch on national television, courtesy of ESPNU. Now, Campbell, because they play in the FCS's Big South Conference, they had league play postponed to the spring. They decided to go with a 4-game non-league slate, all against FBS foes. Ironically, 3 of those are against teams in the Sun Belt East. But their offense is something to contend with, and that's because of their quarterback, Haj Malik Williams.
Without a doubt. And you see what he has done on the field. You see how dynamic he is on film. He's a guy that went over 2,000 yards through the air a year ago for this Campbell team after transferring in from Army Prep.
And for that Campbell defense, they operate with a 4-2-5 alignment. The guy you're going to want to watch, where's number 2? Justice Galloway Velasquez. He was a two-way standout in high school, actually played a little bit of quarterback. But since he's gotten to Campbell, he has become one of the best linebackers in the entire FCS. He's hit the Campbell single-season tackles record last year with 111 stops. That included an amazing 18 tackles against Kennesaw State. And for Georgia Southern, they've been dynamic in home openers ever since the 2006 season. Shai Werts is back for his 4th consecutive year starting at quarterback. That's something only Tracy Ham has done in the history of Georgia Southern football, and Colin, that's always good company to be in.
Without a doubt. And you look at what Shai has done over his career and the progression that he's made. We've talked about it a couple of times throughout preseason camp, how the big focus for Shai in the offseason was improving his passing game. You talk about Tracy Ham and the likeness that they have. We've seen what Shai can do on the ground. Tracy, what made him so special was that he could do it on the ground and through the air.
On the defense, another year with Scott Sloan's 3-4 scheme, but I really believe this is going to be the most aggressive that unit has been. Plus 30 in turnover margin the last 2 years. That's number 1 in the country. Randy Wade is an outstanding yet underrated outside linebacker, but in the middle, 2 of the best in the league. And Rashad Byrd and Raynard Ellis.
And you look at the front 7 for Georgia Southern. We've talked about it before, how the secondary is going to be a little bit of a question mark, not having a whole lot of experience returning from a year ago. But that front 7 is one of the most experienced in the Sun Belt Conference and in the country. You look at a guy like Raymond Johnson III, going to be wearing number 0, so it's going to look a little weird on that defensive front. But the guys you've mentioned, Randy Wade, Rashad Byrd, so many guys in that front 7 that have played meaningful snaps for Georgia Southern football. Great to see them back in 2020.
Yeah, I think that number 0 on Raymond Johnson is going to look a little bit bigger than what ordinarily would be, but he's a preseason first-team All-League pick trying to become a 4-time All-Sun Belt Conference selection.
There's a lot of young guys in the secondary for Scott Sloan's secondary, and when you look at what they have the potential to do, hopefully you see it come to fruition in 2020, but you and I have talked about it. There's guys that have played, but only one combined start between the potentials to play cornerback for Georgia Southern.
The only way to it is to do it. It's Georgia Southern, it's Campbell, it's the opener of the 2020 college football season. It's going to look a little bit different. It's going to be socially distanced, but the most important thing is that college football is back in Statesboro, Georgia. We want to thank everybody for watching this week's edition of Blue White Weekly, and thanks as always to the fine folks at the Multimedia Development Center. For Colin Lacey, this is Danny Reed. You've been watching Blue White Weekly.